other one. I got the light on today. You ain't notice that because it's starting to get a little dark. It's starting to get a little dark a little sooner, and I don't like that already.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these Brooklyn. Y'all want to see these Brooklyn streets? You want to see them?
No. Mm-mm.
Damn, I was gonna lift the laptop up.
No, because you're gonna do it, then all of a sudden your cable gonna come out, and then the mic
I
gonna
was
be
gonna do it
off, and
delicately.
everything. Mm-mm.
I was gonna just lift
Mm-mm.
it, just show y'all the
Mm-mm.
back window where I live at. See what part of Brooklyn I'm in, and then come
Mm-mm. There
back.
might be a roach on the window. We don't want
You
to see that. You don't want us
tried
to
it.
see that. It's about respecting your privacy and your situation. So, hey, ballheads, I am JB,
I'm urban laughter.
and
I
this is
said it
the Rude
almost.
Urban
Rude
Truth.
urban truth.
Right? You said it real aggressive, like I'm urban laughter,
Yeah, I
like you were
did.
feeling that in your gut. How are you?
First of all, I'm still recouping from the weekend. Not gonna hold
Mm-hmm.
you. And I
Mm-hmm.
drank Saturday, and it's Monday. And in your 30s, this kind of thing hurts. It's not
Oh.
fun. It's fun while it's happening. It's not fun after. Primarily because of things like dehydration and little
Mm-hmm.
miniature
You
eight
see
ounce
this
bottles. No.
water?
You see this little 8 ounce
This
bottle?
water.
I need another one of these, and I low key got to get up.
I've been trying to drink like 2 or 3 of these a day. Plus, it's getting hot. I need to make sure I'm fully hydrated because this heat is drying my skin out.
Oh, alligator ass.
That's what it'd be like. I'm like, whoo, what is happening to my forehead? Oh, just be waiting for Steve Irwin to come through. Like, but yeah, anyway. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm good. I'm tired. I worked
No,
out.
you
I
say
did arms. You see
wait.
this? I got a
I
little
see your arms,
arm.
but when you just now said yes, 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 yes. Remember that commercial used to come on in Charlotte for the Mama's Caribbean Grill? Yes, yes,
I do
yes, yes.
not. But
Oh my
I
goodness,
can't say.
where is?
But okay, so mine, I would never have seen it because my cable is through alternative
It wasn't on
sources.
cable. It was on the radio. It was a radio ad.
Oh no, I don't listen to the radio either.
Rico, do you remember it? Or Brian? I hope
You
Rico listens to
screaming to
this.
him like he on the
I
call
need him to
too.
answer. The man used to be going, yes, 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 yes. Mama's Caribbean Grill. It might not even be mom, but it was some Caribbean grill. But I used to hate that commercial so much. I mean, you went, yes, 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 yes. That's you sound like that
Well,
man.
well, here the commercials are awful. We got, hey Ebenezer, someone just hit my car. It's for the car wreck cowboy. And then there's another one where you see these two little girls talking to each other. And she was like, "Girl, someone just hit my car." She was like, put it. No, she said, "What is hers?" God, it's they're awful. They're really really terrible commercials. And I'm just sitting back like,
Or it's
this
the
is
New York
awful.
accent though. They're like, officer, what are you doing? I didn't even do nothing. It's like super New York, and it's just like the hell. Like, if you need an attorney, but my favorite one, Salino and Barnes, injury attorneys, 800-888-8888. And you gonna need it because I got y'all I got smashed in the subway doors. Yo, speaking of injury attorneys, yo, I'm hustling. Y'all, I never run for the subway, but I'm finally starting to morph into like a little bit of a more, a bit of a more nerve, a bit more of a New Yorker, right? Y'all,
Yeah.
I'm hustling. My little train on the platform, I'm like, oh, because I'm not waiting today. And it's after hours too. I'm thinking like I might have to wait like 20 minutes. 20 minutes is not a long time, but it seems like a long time in New York because the trains come like every 3 to 5 minutes. That's a long time, Loki. So I'm hustling, hustling. That thing, all I hear is the conductor, stand clear of the closing door. It is one of them old trains, not one of them new ones that stand clear of the closing doors. It was an old school, so I don't think they see me. That thing said, smashed me up. You hear me? I was ready for the MTA lawsuit. Smashed me up. It was like, and I mean, it went like it really like hit my head. Like it really smashed me. Like what ain't hit my head, but it like hit my arms because my arms was in the way. It's like, cool. And then I guess the conductor must have seen me. Like, oh yeah. It's all I heard saying clear the closing doors, and that said, cool. I said, oh, I could not believe I got
Oh,
smashed in the doors.
I feel that laugh coming from my gut.
Man, yeah, if y'all could have seen me, it was wild. And then people was all unbothered. I was sitting on the train, all traumatized, like that fox on the side of the bed. Like, what just happened? Like, this is my home train.
Oh
Y'all,
man, this
I
is
really got smashed by
spectacular.
the doors. I hope that's the first and last. Everybody keep telling me you gonna fall in the subway. If I fall in the subway, I'm never riding it again. Because it's so I'm never riding it again. It's Ubers in my car from here on in. But yeah, that happened. That
Oh,
actually
that took
happened.
on me. That took on me.
Child, them doors tore
Oh.
my ass up. It's a, it's all stand clear to closing doors. Hey, I was not hustling fast enough. That thing said, boom, it sprang all back open. And everybody was so, it's everybody being so unbothered for me. I'm just really, really was sitting there like, I felt so like violated. Like, what, when did my life get to this?
Oh,
I hate
well,
to see
this is
it.
a great way to start the episode.
Hmm.
Before we start diving all the way in, as always, want to remind you to subscribe down there on YouTube. Right there. And for those of you who are listening to the podcast, you have no clue what I'm talking about unless you've been to the YouTube channel, which you should have, which is the Rude Urban Truth Podcast.
Welcome to our YouTube
But
channel.
if you have not followed us on social media, definitely follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Rude Urban Truth Podcast, and Twitter at Rude Urb Truth Pod. And as always, you can go to our website, therudeurban.truth.com, where we have our bios. We have all of the podcast episodes, which you'll also find on whatever streaming platform you're listening to them on. And you have access to our store, which has shirts and mugs and stuff that we really need to revamp. We really need to sit down and set aside some time to really get it together. But with that said, ooh, okay, so hold on, y'all. You know how I'm always
Mhm.
paying attention to the people outside. So I
The
think
type of
my
neighbor with the
neighbor
pregnant
two
girlfriend.
doors down, I think he be doing like some alternative, like let's say he has a part-time job. Part-time job.
Oh yeah, in the
And
south.
you can he may be doing some dealings out of his place of well,
I
his
mean,
humble
first,
abode.
he's an
But
entrepreneurial
I can
pharmacist. He started his own pharmacy. Nothing wrong with that.
so
Everybody love an entrepreneur.
I can always tell when someone's coming through to see what the inventory is like. Um they always come through, they always look the same. Today's is a approximately 2004 Honda Accord, um,
You
white.
definitely got 238,000 miles on it.
Hmm. Yep. But
Motor sound like.
I'll be sitting, I'll be just trying to catch what's going on. So, but I saw that someone saw Ari Lennox this weekend.
Oh, I saw Ari Lennox for the free in Prospect Park. Y'all, it was my
Hmm.
first concert. Oh, another first. My first concert by myself. I will never go to a concert by myself again, FYI.
Oh, okay.
My coworker was supposed to come with me, but last minute she couldn't make it. And I had before that went to the barbecue beer, bourbon, and whiskey fest because my cousin was working the event and got me a free VIP pass for all you can drink. Why did I do that, y'all? I went there and pre-gamed and ate. I got so I got smashed in the door. I left that part off. That's a little tip, and I got smashed in the train doors. So I decided to continue on. So I go to the park. I meet people. I'm talking to people. Met a dope photographer. Um, Met a girl named Tatiana. Shout out to her. I was just meeting and mingling with people. I had my little luncher. Enjoyed it. It was a vibe. Then I sobered up. Went home. It was lit. Oh, it was a nice little weekend of. I was like, this is cute. Look at me in New York living my best life by myself or whatever. Then my phone died on me, and I knew how to get home by myself. Even though by this point I know how to get home anyway. It don't matter at this point.
Yeah,
I've been here
but her
long enough.
phone dying is not an uncommon occurrence.
Save
She
it.
has done better. I will say this: she has
Yes,
gotten so
it's been on
much
like
better.
30, 40
But
percent.
putting things in perspective for you all, Urban Laughter used to come to work with her phone already about to die. Like
Yeah, it's
she's
been like
walking into
2%.
work and it's on 4%, and I'm like, girl, you went to sleep. How did you go to sleep and you
Because
just
I
let me
don't
ask,
put it on the
are you
charger.
cuddling your phone all night? Like you got it close to your bosom?
No, I
Like
I
how,
just fall asleep like a little kid, so I forget to plug it in, and then I wake up. Like it, the alarm and stuff go off. Like that time I left my phone in your car and I had to use my stove. Y'all, I had to use my
yes, her
stove.
phone was in my car.
Y'all, I used so my stove had an
But
alarm
in
on it.
her defense that night,
I,
we did a lot of drinking that
we did
night.
because him and his husband think that I'm a boy and I'm not. I have breasts. Like, and they always tend to forget that when we go drinking, and they always like, here,
No, it's
another,
not our
another.
fault that she was sitting there like, oh, you got a drink? Cause I
No,
think that was the night where I told you, I said, I think I can get us a free drink. And
you
look
can't drink
what
with
we
men.
did. We got a free drink.
No, I ain't drinking with men no more. Let me be specific. I'm not drinking with these men anymore. Every time I drink with them, we went to the state fair. I got pictures, sunglasses. Y'all, the next day for the state
Oh,
fair,
she was hung over.
y'all,
Hung
horribly.
over.
JB's husband, I'm thinking he gonna show me a love shot, thinking it's gonna be one of them little electrolyte powders. It was spiked. I drank my cup like it was a y'all. I came to back to their house, hung over so that we can get to the state fair because it was 2 hours from where we were. So we hustling. I
Hmm.
get over there. I got up, shower, everything was ready to go. Put my sunglasses on, took some Advil, and was like, "We out." Here come Brian, handing me a cup. I'm thinking like, "Oh, this is so sweet, a cup of recovery." I'm thinking it's a tea or something. When I a spiked cup, nothing like being hungover and you get. But I'm not gonna hold you. It definitely did cure. My granddad used to always say you got to bite the dog that bit you. So it definitely bit me, and my spiked cup did help. By the time I got to the fair and got a little
Hmm.
turkey leg, oh, some funnel cake. I ate a lot that day.
Yeah, that
I
was
had
a
cotton
fun day.
candy. That
It
was
was
really a
hot.
fun day. Like I
It was
wish they had a
surprisingly
state fair
hot
here.
considering it was in October, but it was still a fun
It
time.
was a really not. It was October.
Hmm.
We didn't have one coats.
Mm-mm.
It felt like a summer day. People had on shorts.
Yeah, it was because my birthday always fell in the last week of the NC State Fair.
That was nice. New York probably got a state fair. I just probably ain't been to it. But I still feel like a state fair is not the same in a city or near a major city like this as it is in the South. It ain't
Oh,
gonna
you
hit
got
the
to go to a
same.
real country one.
Like the
The
soul
one
food up
here
here.
in Texas, the one in Dallas. Oh, that thing is huge, huge. We went the first year we were here, and I think we were. My current job is actually going to have a fair day, and they will allow us to have a plus one. So I'll be going to that one, depending on how
Your
I feel
job is
on
giving
then.
you a fair day.
Hmm.
Oh, I miss living and working in the South, honey. These northern cities be working you. You hear me? I be feeling like that working me,
we we have a
working me.
half day on Thursday to go to a baseball game, and by half
But
day I
that's nice.
mean we no we leave the office at 11 o'clock.
Y'all ain't
Most of
even
us don't
working,
get there until 9 o'clock.
right?
So we get in there. They're gonna give us shirts. We're going there on a party bus, and then they have a suite for us where we'll be able to eat and all this other stuff. I'm not bragging, but I'm really happy that the place that
I
I
mean, you
use
should be
them.
breaking because see, my job need to be taken up. Well, my job do give us nice stuff. I ain't even gonna dog my job like that because they do
Hmm.
be
Yeah,
looking out for us.
we were talking about the nice
Yeah,
stuff
I
each
definitely
other.
get mad perks. Yeah,
Anyway.
I definitely do get mad perks. So let me stop it.
Hmm.
Like they really be looking
You're
out.
starting to get rude, but since you being rude, give us a rude quote of the week this week.
Okay, first of all, I want you nignogs to stop taking a couple extra pills you got and selling them and thinking you Pablo Escobar because you not okay. And shout out to Respect My Disrespect for that because ooh, the truth in that post was so real. Two little extra leftover pills. Now they acting like they Pablo Escobar, sir. Knock it off. Knock it off. You're not taking real
I can't.
penitentiary chances. Not for this. Knock it off.
Mm-mm. I can't. I can't. There's these. We do not support the beliefs and actions of the stuff that's happening in the rude quote that she said.
Now we don't
But
support the release of the real quote. It's Twitter. Twitter is really like a volatile environment.
oh no, go there today. This is the last day of the fleets on Twitter. Oh, these people have lost their minds with the
Why they
content that
getting
they're
away with
putting in those
fleets?
fleets. Twitter is getting rid of. I guess it's just they were dumb. Nobody was really using them.
Yeah,
That was their way of trying to compete with stories. But who goes on Twitter to look at stories? Like it just
yeah.
doesn't fit that environment. But people have decided they're just going to put all their goods on their fleets today, and
Oh.
because they know that this is the last day. And I say, you know what? If that's what y'all want to do, you go right ahead.
First thing on my
But
timeline. Oh, y'all cutting up on these fleets, huh? And it's you with a picture of
yep.
Gabby's baby one. First thing I see is you.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, Black Magic. I have someone for Black Magic because I thought it was pretty cool.
Okay.
Um, there's a guy, 17-year-old guy named Kieran Moyes. I'm not sure if I'm actually
We got a
pronouncing his
black
name
magic
correctly.
man this week.
Yeah.
Well,
So he's
we had a man
17
in a
and
minute.
he's from Huntsville, Alabama. You know, that's where Bay's from.
Of course.
Um he's he was known around Huntsville for his hair. Like he had a lot of hair. Like I put the link in there. So if you go look at it, you see he had a lot of hair.
You know I'm clicking on it. Oh
Well,
yeah.
he grew his hair for 6 years and decided that after graduation he had planned on going to the Air Force. Um, and that going to the Air Force, you can't have your hair all big and everything. They have very strict grooming policies in their Air Force, or in the military in general. So he set a goal of fundraising $1,000 per inch for his airfro, which measured about
Okay.
19 inches. and he planned to donate all the proceeds to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital of Memphis. He also planned to donate his hair to Children with Hair Loss, which is a Michigan based nonprofit that provides free human hair to children and young adults. He ended up raising $38,000.
Say that. I see this here.
$38,000. I thought that was really dope. That's like
That is dope.
from
I
his
love
hair.
to see it. From his hair. From that man. From that glorious mane, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
and then
speaking of
you can see
glorious
the
manes,
before and after pictures.
I read a post, and I don't know if it's legit, but a licensed cosmetologist telling you to come wash, you can report to cosmetology board.
Oh yeah, I sent it to you.
Is that, yeah, that was you to send? Okay, I didn't know. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
apparently it is. I was looking at, I had seen the post somewhere, and I saw a lot of people who were cosmetologists actually commenting about it and saying
Yeah.
that that was true because, like they are the first thing they're taught when they go to school is how to properly wash hair.
Yeah.
So
Because the
that
girls that I go to this, I
technically,
always go to the salon. So I never have to pay extra for my hair wash. Only time I paid extra for a hair wash was when I went to that hood chick. It was a hood girl, and she had a seat at the salon. I was like, you ain't got no papers. It
yeah,
wasn't even a real
but
salon.
it's I think
I
it's
think she
like
just bought
a
like a
whole
booth.
it's like what is the word like sanitary
Hmm.
you don't know
The
how
old school
to
stylists,
properly
and
wash.
people don't wash it right. So, and some girl, and that's what my stylist was saying. Some people don't properly wash their hair. Like they wash it, but they don't even do it right. So what they do is they wash it with stuff that they know is like hypoallergenic. Like it was different stuff that they
Mm-hmm.
used to try to like make sure you start with a clean slate because they know what they put in your hair
Mm-hmm.
and they know what's good for like all hair types genuinely. Yeah. So okay,
Yeah, I
I
saw
want to throw
some
that
people
out
saying
there.
that they see that that's something they can do, but they won't do that with black women because they're trying to support them. But they also need
Right.
to
That's
make sure
see. That's how I was
it's
feeling. That's
like a
why I was
double
all
edged
like,
sword
"Dang,
because you're also thinking about it like, well, if you are doing that yourself, then like you need to not be charging me as much as you are because some of what you should be doing, you're not
doing
doing
right,
because you
right."
requiring me to do it for you.
Right. But that's how I felt. I was like in my mind, and y'all know I'm a little bit of a hood chick. So the first thing I thought was like, I'm not telling on these girls. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be hot, but I might ask for a couple dollars off. But even if they say no to the couple
Mm-hmm.
dollars off, I'm gonna just go somewhere else. I'm not gonna tell on them though. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not putting you out of business and getting you because first of all, it's hard enough for us as it is. And I know any report for a black business, that business will be shut down like that. Ain't no time to. I'm not doing it to somebody. And they might got kids and people depending
Mm-hmm.
on them. And no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take my business elsewhere to the
Mm-hmm.
salons did wash them because now I only go to the salons. Oh, this new girl's doing my hair. She be doing the celebs hair. She bought 11 hip hop ones. I can't wait. I can't wait for y'all to see it. I hope it's delicious because sometimes these girls be laying them little celebs hair and then you get your hair and it don't be laid. They don't want to post your picture on their Instagram. Like, why my picture can't go on the Instagram? Hmm?
Yeah, I'm looking like, did she do this one or is it some
No,
of
this
the?
one is old.
Mm,
Oh,
mm,
oh. This is old though.
mm.
You know, it's the mama. Can't you tell it's old? I
I
guess maybe you
mean,
can't see under the lighting.
it's hard for me to tell when, you know, I'm used to it looking old all the time.
Shut up, bitch. Talking about I'm used to looking old all the time. I had to say it harsh too, so you can feel it. Oh,
Oh
shut
yeah,
up.
I felt it. I felt it in my gut. I felt it there. Yeah. Well, moving right along, let's go ahead and move into rude talk.
Rude talk. Rude talk. Oh,
So I got a
I
couple of
just seen the
articles that
title
I
of this
found.
first one.
Yep. So I've titled this one "Get These Motherfucking Snakes from Under My Motherfucking Bed." So I was looking up some crazy news, and this surprisingly did not take place in Florida. This took place in Georgia.
Georgia,
So,
close second.
so basically, a couple in Georgia happened to,
Had a bit of a scare. Why would they write this article, y'all? With all these,
yeah,
they
y'all. So
gonna
they
put
said
all these
a bit
S's
of a
on scared.
scare. So Trish thought that she had saw a piece of fuzz on the floor under the bed in her home. She was in Augusta and reached for it, and it moved.
Oh,
And then a second later, another piece moved. And I went to my husband like, we have snakes. In fact, they had 18 snakes in their house. 18 snakes were under their bedroom. 17 babies and the mama.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
Lost it. I would have lost it. They said that a husband was able to use a grabbing tool to contain the snakes in a linen bag. He then put them outside near a creek.
I'm glad they
They
didn't
said a
kill him.
wildlife catcher told the couple that the reptiles in their home were not venomous. They were garter snakes. I don't care what kind of snake it is. They don't go in my
Okay.
house.
Oh, them little. Oh, I know what garter snakes are. Them little skinny ones. But yeah, still, I don't want them. Yeah.
Mm. So they said that I guess snakes going in people's homes in Georgia is a common occurrence. They say
Oh,
they usually come
see.
in through small cracks and open spaces. And see, basically, what this is telling me, even if I had considered going to Georgia, I'm now questioning that because I don't need any snakes being.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I feel like it's just
speaking
somewhere
of,
everywhere you go. Rats in New
no,
York, snakes in Georgia,
let me go ahead
crocodiles.
and this has happened to me. It just hit me. This has happened to me when I lived in Cary. I lived in Cary. I had dropped my dog at a time, Diego. Rest in peace.
Oh, little
I
Diego.
dropped him off at my mom's house, and I came back. I was on the phone with Carlos from carloscooking.com, and I walked in this apartment. It had like instead of having balconies, you had sunrooms. So
Mhm.
in every apartment had a sunroom. Sunroom was Diego's room. So I just went in there and I looked on the floor, and there was a snake coiled up in the middle of my floor. So I just closed the door because I'm
What
like,
you say? You know what you got it?
you can have the
Shannon
room.
Sharp. It ain't no problem. It ain't no
So I,
problem.
so I call the maintenance people. I'm like, hey, there's a snake in my apartment.
Boo.
Do you know this food was like, oh, we only respond to emergencies on the weekend. I said, what the fuck do you think this is?
Okay.
This is a snake in my house. Like, I'm not. I will call you. I told him. I said I will call you all weekend, back to back, until someone gets to this apartment to get the snake out of here. The snake ended up going. Okay, so the sunroom was on a drop level, and they
Hmm.
had carpet that went up against the wall. The snake went behind the carpet and went under. I don't know where the snake went, but they came. They pulled back the carpet and could not find the snake. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm never walking in this room again.
Yeah.
That room, I never went back in that room.
You really are
I
Woody.
closed that door, and the dog then lived in my living room. And that room was not. I did not go in that room until it was time for me to move because my desk was in there.
It's a snake in my boot. Like Woody
So,
off Toy Story.
so
That's horrific.
yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah,
So
I'd have been done. So 18, I'd have been tore up.
all right. So next story I found. I am calling this "Ain't That Much Shit in the World."
Oh, okay then.
So a woman had reached her wits end and decided she was going to lash out on her husband because she said that he spent too much time in the bathroom. He would go to the bathroom several times a day, and each time he was in the bathroom, he was in there for 45 minutes. So she when she shared her story, she did it anonymously. But she called her husband Justin, said Justin spends 45 minutes for just peeing 45 times a day, and that she no longer knows what she wants to do with her husband. She said
Oh.
it was irritating to lose him to this marathon of toilet trips at home, and her temper boiled over after the pair went to a restaurant. The man left his wife to eat her meal alone as he spent almost an hour in the bathroom.
Yeah, see, no, I wouldn't have time for
See,
this.
see, my initial thought when I read this, it made me think of the Green Mile. You know, in the Green Mile, Tom Hanks had kidney stones. So
Oh,
whenever he
yeah, yeah.
went to the bathroom, it took him a long time because it hurt so bad. But I can't imagine what could be causing him to take 45 minutes to use the bathroom. I just came across it. I was like, that was bizarre. Like, what would you do if your partner went to the bathroom and stayed in there that long?
Oh, I'm not playing games. I
Just like,
don't
I
know.
feel
I
like he
would
needs.
go ahead.
I don't know. It's just weird. Like, is he
Yeah, it
addicted
is.
to porn or
Yeah, that's what I
something?
was. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like he ain't in there using that damn bathroom and how you think, sis. You need to go ahead and bust in on his ass. But go on and Rambo that door down. Y'all know who Rambo is? Our audience, you're not gonna have to know who Rambo is.
I don't know because there's some people that
Yeah, some of them were tenderonis.
what was the screenshot that I sent you the other day where the person, oh man, what was it? I circled it and everything for y'all in the group chat.
Oh yeah, the
Dang
one
it.
who ain't know who the Roots was.
Oh yeah, he said I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah,
And they were like,
child.
okay, so yeah,
Because he
we're
didn't know who the
because
roots were. Because they were saying something about the
for
baby.
yeah, for context, he did not know who Questlove was. And they were like, well, you can't be a hip hop fan if you don't know who the Roots are. And he
He
said, I
basically like
haven't
no,
seen that movie.
and I'm
So
like,
we
my
never
God.
know. I think a lot of our listeners are probably in our age
Yeah, so they
group.
understand the
So
Rambo
hopefully
reference.
they know. But yeah. But lastly, last thing article I found, I'm going to call this one "The Pussy is Named After His Ex."
Oh,
So girlfriend has decided she was starting to get really suspicious of her boyfriend, not even sure if she wanted to stay in a relationship with him because she had recently gotten a cat, but she was struggling to figure out a name for the cat. He did not agree with hardly any of the names that she had,
but it's
and
her cat.
yeah, but I think it was supposed to be them together. I don't know,
Okay. All right. All
but
right.
he ended up suggesting a name that belonged to his ex-girlfriend,
Oh,
and she admitted that she thinks it's a nice name. She's just concerned that out of all the names in the world to choose from, he was dead set on having this
yeah.
cat named after his ex.
That's kind of weird.
I'm like, yeah. How did you? Out of all the names, this is the one you decided you want. This is the hill that you want to die on. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't think I would have
out of
went with
all the
it.
things in the world, there's so many things. Y'all might have similar interests. Let's say you play video games. There's a ton of names there. Our dog is named. Well, I suggested a name based off of my obsession with X Men and Professor X. That's why he's Zay, is in Xavier. But I would never suggest naming a cat or anything after an ex. This doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah,
So I
nursery
just wanted,
Bob.
so I just wanted to throw that one out there. But so that's all my rude news.
Oh,
Moving right along, we did not talk about it last week. You know, I personally thought like
that's
maybe
because it
he'll
came out
eventually
after
go
we had
away.
already recorded.
Yeah, but we didn't even put anything on social media, and hopefully, I personally thought like maybe it'll go away. Maybe he'll go away. But I
Apologized. Yeah,
forget the people who are most problematic feel like they want to be loud and wrong all the time
they thrive in those
and will not
environments,
go
man.
away. So the baby, he, I'm kind of a little upset, mainly because I actually liked his music at one point. I think I even told you I was like I was
You
shocked
did.
that I
Remember
liked
I
his
told
music.
and what I tell you. I said I like Lil Baby. Cause he shut up.
Yeah, but
It's better be
but
thoughtful than open your
I don't
mouth and
like
make it
either one
known.
of them now. But
Dang, what Lil Baby
so
do?
exist. But
That is
um
invalid. She
so
exists.
for those who don't know, was it at the Rolling Loud?
Loud.
Is that what it was?
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
Rolling
so
Loud.
y'all. This is pain in my spirit. It's pain in my spirit.
Right.
It's rolling loud. It's a thing. You are looking it
He
up. It's
decided,
rolling loud.
yeah, no, I was bringing up the quote so I could make sure that I had it fine. But he said the following: if you didn't show up today with HIV and AIDS and any of the deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, then put your cell phone like in the air. Ladies, if you yeah, as I'm reading it, it's just making me even more irritated. I'm about to have to say this stuff out loud. But ladies, if your pussy smells like water, put a cell phone light in the air. Ladies, I mean fellas, if you ain't suck a nignogs dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights in the air. Keep it fucking real. That was a struggle to get through. It was like I'm trying to
You
read
know
it,
what
and
I'm
I'm
doing?
just like, as I'm going through, I'm like, this
This
is
is
these are
dumb.
words that came out of someone's mouth.
Yeah, this was dumb. Like it was. He just
So
didn't need to say it at all.
So he caught heat immediately. Questlove spoke out, which is how the whole thing with Questlove, him like the baby was like, I don't even know who that is. And then a picture surfaces where he performed somewhere and Questlove was actually playing an instrument during his
Yeah, he knew
performance.
who he was.
So that was that. Madonna
So,
has spoken out. Dua Lipa has spoken out, who had recently collaborated with him in the song
um,
Levitate, I
Elton
believe.
John.
Elton
Too.
John has spoken out, and then now the bags are just dropping. All of these concerts are, or these festivals are dropping him, replacing him. I saw the one of them has replaced it with Roddy Rich. Another one has
Roddy Rich
replaced it
should have
with
been on a
some,
ticket anyway.
right. But originally, because in true footboy status, he decided he was going to
Double
double down
down.
on what he said.
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, y'all.
Because
Sorry, Carlos.
he actually said out loud that his fans, his gay fans, don't have stuff like that. Which,
It's to imply that it's like a gay disease, and
yes,
heterosexuals have it too.
right. So, as he's getting dropped from all these festivals, he decided that he was going to, well, correction, someone decided that they were going to issue an official apology because they no way in hell you're going to convince me that he wrote this.
Yeah,
It-
especially
I
after
saw that
how.
you added in there. Do you want to read what he said? I mean,
Yeah.
because
Now
he's
he's trying to apologize, especially after he doubled down. He's gonna say social media moves so fast that people want to demolish you before you even have the opportunity to grow, educate, and learn from your mistakes. I'm gonna pause it right there. You had an
yep. So go
opportunity to
ahead
learn,
and.
grow from your mistakes, but you kept talking. That was your
Mm-hmm.
problem. As a
Mm-hmm.
man who has had to make his own way from very difficult circumstances, having people I know publicly working against me, knowing
Paul,
what
I'll pause you there because I feel like it's pretty ironic that he has this to say, but he really doubled down on the whole thing with Travis Scott being on that song saying things intentionally bad about Megan Thee Stallion. But continue.
Travis Scott definitely was talking shit. I forget about that. Was it
I mean,
Travis
not Travis
Scott?
Scott, Tory
That
Lanez.
wasn't
Tory Lanez.
Travis
Tory
Scott.
Lanez.
Yeah, I'm all
Yeah,
like, and I knew that. That's why I stopped. Like,
you
wait, it
went
wasn't
right along
Travis
with it
Scott.
too.
Yeah, but I
That's
knew who you. I knew in my mind
yeah,
because I'm tired. But I knew who you meant. It wasn't Travis Scott. It
yeah,
was
Tory
Tory Lanez.
Lanez.
And Tory Lanez, he called himself clearing the record and getting the record straight and not dogging her. But to me, it seemed like he was taking shots. And that's
Yeah, he's still
to
taking
me.
shots. He's been taking
Yeah.
shots. He made a whole
And it's
album
like just
about
leave it
that shit.
alone. Yeah, like let's leave it alone. Like she ain't really saying a whole lot. Just leave it. Just let the court. Let's figure it out in the courts at this point. Stop saying stuff. That be y'all. Anyway, he said knowing that what I needed was education on these topics and guidance has been challenging. Don't believe him.
See, my thing is this:
He's only doing it because he wants to
we
try to get the bag back. But I feel like the damage is done.
we have been educated about HIV and AIDS for a while now,
Right. This is not the 1980s, and we just figuring the hell out.
and he's not 10.
Say that.
He's not 10.
Shit, the 10-year-olds
I
might know now with these smartphones.
no, it's just I it just disappointed me because I sometimes in my boredom, when I'm bored, I'll go listen to Crybaby with him and Megan Thee Stallion, or Cash
Wah
It with
wah
him and
wah.
Megan Thee Stallion, and I just like you making me have to eliminate some of the things that I love because you want to be stupid. And I do believe that sometimes cancel culture does go too far. I do think that it doesn't like Corey when he was on the show. He said cancel culture doesn't allow people to do better. You like instead of giving people an opportunity to do better, you automatically cancel them.
Right. And
I
we didn't
get
give him
that where
opportunity
like
to do better. But in
the
this
problem
case,
with this one is he
yeah,
literally had an opportunity to do better
and didn't care.
immediately, and he doubled down on all of that. And it wasn't until it started impacting his bag that he finally said something.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I look at him differently. Like you had every opportunity to do better.
Mm-hmm. And chose not to.
You had every opportunity not to say any of that stuff anyway. That ain't the same as like if you got a $10 bill, put your hand up. Like you literally are like you every single line was discriminatory against some group.
Yeah.
Like how come you just
It
can't
was
have a good
completely
time and
ignorant.
mind your damn business?
Because vaginas don't smell like water either. It's not a thing. Each woman has it. It might not stink, but everybody has a unique scent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, oh, this is a lot. Like, this is crazy. Also, this is how I knew
Mm-hmm.
he got real when I seen it on Twitter. Somebody said, anytime that Boosie and T.I. is backing you, just know that you're
Mm-hmm.
wrong and apologize. And T.I. and Boosie were both like, hey, what's up? Like, we backing you. I'm
And
looking like,
you
oh,
know that you on some mess if Chris Brown told you to shut up and just
yeah.
perform.
Chris Brown said, get on, do your shut up, do your show, shut up, and get off stage.
And
That's
we know
it.
Chris Brown. has had his problematic moment. I really do
Mm-hmm.
believe that Chris Brown has learned a good amount, and
Yeah.
he still has his missteps from here from time to time, but he's actually settled down a lot
Yeah.
compared to those times where it felt like we were always hearing something about him.
Yep.
Listen, if somebody said, I believe that this is 50 Cent fault because it was just recently that 50 Cent made a statement saying that he's basically taken the baby under his wing, something that he was trying to do with Pop Smoke, but
Yeah.
Pop Smoke
Yep.
passed away too
Yep.
soon. So, the baby was who was going to help. And then not even a week after he said that the baby's on stage to be done. I
Being
don't think
dumb.
it was 50 Cent fault because even 50 Cent, like lately, 50 Cent even been quiet.
Thank good.
Right.
I don't
Because
know.
there was a time when he was always, this is not to say that he's not still problematic. He just isn't as vocal about his
Yeah.
mess like he
But he would
used to
just be
because it was
antagonizing people. Because sometimes I was thinking, like, I don't even think he believed this foolishness.
like
People
he was
just doing
just out
stuff
there
to make people
bullying
talk.
people
Yeah. Just
all
being a
the time.
troll.
Hmm. But yeah, moving right along. I am calling this next thing. Hello, Barbara. It's
This is
Shirley.
Shirley. Hey, Barbara, this is Shirley.
So I came across this post where it was actually people offering their side of the story when they were the other person.
Oh.
And they were very transparent about their experiences. Some of them were telling how it started.
Oh, like
It
this is
was just
open, like, oh, I'm openly a
open
sad
dialogue.
man, sad chick kind of thing. Oh, this
Like
is
they were
deep.
sitting down and like, so I'm just going. This is one of the examples. This is a lady.
Hmm.
She said, I had been divorced for 10 years and was not interested in dating until my kids were up and out. But I really missed sex. A friend from a co-ed team started flirting with me and being suggestive. In the beginning, it was just a lot of sexting. He's truly a good guy. He was in
Not
a
the
very
sex thing.
happy, yeah, that he was in a very happy 20-year-old marriage. I know his wife and she's great. He just
I know
has a
his
much
wife and
higher,
she's
yes,
great.
she did. She said it with a whole chest. He just has a much higher sex drive than she does. So he was missing the one thing I wanted. We filled a need that the other one had. He had never treated before, and the first time we had sex, he felt so guilty. He really wished he could have asked his wife for permission. For 2 years, we have been on and off again. The chemistry and comfort level with each other is insane, and it's by far the best sex each of us has had. But his guilt and shame has been hard for him.
It ain't that hard. You doubling back and tripling back and shit.
Right.
It's been so hard for him. Girl, you ain't. It's the last. But carry on.
Again, then there was another one. Let's
It's
see.
been
Here's
hard.
one. I was teaching abroad. He was an expat working in the country. I was dining alone when he invited me to join him and his friends. It was immediate, undeniable chemistry. I figured it was going to be one hot, heavy flame. He was upfront about being married, even though I didn't ask. It didn't matter. We were magnetic.
What she say? I ain't even ask. He was just like,
We
listen, I got
messaged
this
each other all
spouse.
day and went deeper sexually than I ever thought possible. Each summer I had him to myself as his family went home. A year in, he told me he loved me. Mutual, obviously. Keeping our secret was exciting, and so were we. It was a magic for 4 years. But in 2020, it became impossible to make excuses for him to get out alone. Our summer together couldn't happen. I was lonely and lost. Between work and slowly losing a man I believe is my soulmate, I had a depressive break and moved home. We still talked every day. Then his wife found out. He told me if I loved him, I wouldn't contact him again. I was stunned, but did as he asked. So
I mean, ain't this
there's
how it
that
always
one.
end? Ain't that how it always end though?
Right.
Either that or you
This
and this
one,
heifer gonna be feuding the rest of y'all lives.
and then this next one is actually for once because the first couple of examples that I read were women who were the side chicks. This one is actually a woman who is married to a man and she has a male side chick. Well, side dude, I
A
guess,
sad
whatever
dude.
you want to
Yeah.
call it.
You
So my
watched The
therapist,
Shy?
yeah, I haven't watched the final episode yet, but
Okay, I would say because he said something last night about this distinction, but that's okay. I won't bring it up.
yeah. So my therapist introduced me to the idea that one person, such as a significant other, cannot necessarily fulfill all needs. They might not be able to be our best friend, cook, lover, drinking buddy, lots of different things that we need to be fully happy and satisfied. Since then, I've been open to the idea that whilst I'm happy with my husband, he may not fulfill my needs sexually, and I perhaps need greater compatibility from someone else. 2 months ago, I started a relationship with a friend who is also in a long term relationship, with the goal being that we would meet fairly to have sex. We are insanely attracted to one another, and the chemistry and sex are wild. He allows me to explore a dom sub sexual dynamic that I've always wanted to pursue and have never been brave enough to experience with anyone else, even my husband. So there's a lot of these. I'm not going to go through all of these. I just think it's very interesting, like how they all presented. They don't, either they are very nonchalant about it, like no big deal, or they like, you know what, I had a need, they had a need. This is what it was.
Yeah. I
I
mean, it
just
doesn't
thought
make
it
it any
was,
more respectable. It's just they just real open with it.
yeah. I think that's what I was really shocked about, like how open they were about these needs. But
Mm-hmm.
so, as
Mm.
always, it would not be me if I didn't have an am I the asshole for you. So, my first one, I am calling the food in there.
Man,
So,
shut up.
my husband had a serious injury weeks ago. He's been bedridden, and his family comes to see him every day. The mother in law keeps drilling what I need to do to make my husband comfortable, but does nothing to help. Just visits every day and sits around expecting to be fed and entertained. Sometimes my brother in law, his wife, and kids join them and turn the house into a mess. Yesterday, mother in law, her husband, and son came again. They checked on my husband, then went to sit in the living room for hours. I served them coffee and croissants. Hours later, my husband threw up again. Second time, I had to take care of changing his clothes and cleaning the sheets to avoid infections. I was exhausted. I came downstairs, and my mother in law looked at me and asked, "Hey, where's our dinner?"
Excuse
I was
me?
shocked. Right. I was shocked after seeing me go up and down stairs many times and cleaning and bringing new sheets and running the washing machine that she'd expect me to prepare dinner. I had already eaten a sandwich at 6 and yogurt. I have problems with my stomach and stress, and pregnancy made it worse. I'm 4 months in. So she's also pregnant.
Oh, her's pregnant. That's cute.
So
Well, not
I
all the
pointed
labor, but
I pointed at the kitchen and told her to help herself out. She gave me a look, and then she didn't expect me to ask her to cook dinner at my house. And I said, I didn't expect her to ask me to cook dinner while I'm taking care of her son. She started arguing about the way I spoke about my husband, saying as his partner, this is the least I could do, and call me unhinged for throwing in her face that I'm helping my husband.
I
She got her
mean,
husband involved, asking me what his thoughts were on me, making guests go hungry and forcing them to cook themselves. Father-in-law said they could order food and call it a day, and yelled at my younger brother-in-law to stop playing on his phone and order food. But the mother-in-law got mad and lashed out, criticizing me, saying I wasn't up to the challenge of taking care of my home and my guests like an adult.
oh,
I lost it on her and told them to leave since she kept yelling, disrupting my husband's sleep. She left after saying she felt sorry for her son and grandbaby with an aggressive wife and mother like
oh, girl,
me.
go to hell.
She told everyone, and my older brother in law said he understood I had a lot on my plate, but lectured me about how I should have respect for his mom, who was a guest.
What?
Repeatedly saying if that was his wife, she wouldn't have acted this way, and I shouldn't use taking care of my husband against him. He asked me to apologize, and I didn't.
Huh.
We're not
I
going to
mean,
ask if she's the asshole
no,
here.
because she's not.
This People really have the audacity. Like, you have a woman who is in here taking care of your son, doing all of this stuff. That I actually personally feel like a lot of mothers would have actually stepped in themselves to be like, "Well, let me cook something,"
Yeah, most
or
right.
because
Or let me help
because
with him.
even if it's not for her, it's for the son. Like, well,
Right.
I see she's
Right.
doing all this. She hasn't been
Let me
able to
make you
get to
something to
this. Let
eat.
me help out.
Yeah.
Literally, all they're doing is going to the house, checking on him, and just
Mm-hmm.
sitting around waiting for a meal. Girl, don't. It's people like that that are already close to Jesus as it is that want to be talking crazy. Like, keep on. You're going to meet him
Mm-hmm.
early.
Right. You one way. Keep
Mm,
it up.
I just don't. I could not believe it that she talked to her like that. And then to say something about the baby that ain't even born yet.
Right.
Like,
That was
I feel
really,
sorry for my son and the grandbaby for having an aggressive wife and a mother like me. I would have lost it.
yeah, I would have to.
Lost it.
I'd
Oh,
be like,
would have
look, listen
lost
up,
it.
Miss Gladys. This ain't that, and that ain't this. Y'all can go home.
I will get out, get
Yeah,
out.
y'all can go. See ya. Did you enjoy yourself?
And then to say, where's our dinner? Like
What?
there was an expectation that I'm coming to your house to check on my son, and you should have cooked for me.
And the fact that she was even open enough to let them in her kitchen, she's like, "Go in there, like, go ahead and get something."
Yeah, see, that's how people get
Like, it
screwed
wasn't
up.
even an issue with y'all eating. It was the fact that you expected me to make it.
Yeah, she tried all of that, all of that. Last one, really short. I have not read this one. I just saw it at the top, and I said, "Nah, you staying home, little nignog," based off of the title. I'm gonna let you figure out what
I'm
this
looking at it
is.
now. I'm reading it now.
So, this person is a 49-year-old male, and they have a son that's 17 who had to get a very much needed medical surgery in a month or two. The medical bills costed us a lot of money to a point where we had to dip into our vacation funds in order to pay for it, but we pay for it nonetheless. We have a trip coming up to go on a family vacation to LA. We do this every year. It's basically tradition, and we each have a separate fund so we can all do what we want while there. Basically fun money as well as basic necessities. Unfortunately, in order to pay for our child's surgery, we had to dip into their vacation funds, and now we can't afford to bring them with us. I can't just cancel this trip because that wouldn't be fair on their younger brother, who's 11, and my wife, who's 47, who have been looking forward to this trip all year since we couldn't go last year. I want them to come with us, but we've already spent the money on medical bills, in my opinion. That's more important than a family vacation, and they should be more grateful. My child got upset when I told them this, and they haven't spoken to me since, which I think is a little bratty, but I don't know what else to do. Like I said, I can't cancel this trip since it wouldn't be fair to the rest of the family, but we've already spent their portion of the funds on his their upcoming surgery and can no longer afford to support them on the trip. Am I the asshole?
Mm, I don't know about this one. Can he do something small? Like, do they gotta go to LA? Like, why can't they make a new tradition just this one time and go somewhere where everybody can go? Like, if you got enough to pay for three of y'all, what can you do that could reasonably accommodate the three of y'all somewhere else closer and cheaper? A staycation,
Right.
so they could just feel like they're a part of something, like without having to exclude them.
Yeah, that's what my thing. My thing is like,
Like, it's not the kids.
why?
Like, I would take everybody. For me,
This is my guess. I don't know anything about how this normally goes, but they used up his funds. Is it not possible to spread out whatever? Because my guess is these are kids. That means that these parents are adding money into these funds, not these kids adding money into these funds. Is it
hmm
not possible to spread this out?
right? That's what I'm saying. Like,
If the
all
goal
or
is to still
nothing.
go on a vacation, why not do that? Why tell this other kid like, no, you can't go because you had to be sick, you had to
Right,
have this medical emergency come in, and we have to take care of you, or like, why not postpone the vacation if you can?
right, right.
That's another option you got. Like it
Like, if it's
just
about y'all
seems.
just being together, y'all could do something local.
I think he's using his family as an excuse for why he still wants to go on this trip.
Yeah, it's mostly him.
Yeah, because I feel like his wife would understand because
She's a
that's
mom.
her child.
Remember, she's a mom.
And this other kid is 11. Just talk to him.
Hmm
Like, hey, this is what's going on. You've seen what's going on. We're going to postpone the vacation, but we're still going to go on it. Da, 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 da. Hey, this gives you more time to have more in your funds. And when we get there, you can do even more stuff.
Yep.
Like, you can talk to an 11-year-old in a way that they would understand and not be too bothered by it. And like you said, do something smaller in the
Yeah.
meantime.
Like, what could we do that's affordable to
Do
a like
something around the city.
a staycation?
Something y'all never done. Like I just feel like it feels wrong that it seems like they are penalizing someone for something they couldn't control. Like they
Mm-hmm.
knew this was something that this person had to have done, and now they're like, well, we don't want the rest of the family to suffer because they couldn't do anything, so we're just gonna leave him home. That just seems when if I'm just thinking like if this is a big medical emergency or something or a surgery, I can only imagine how mentally this might be taxing on the person who has to have the surgery. So then to know that like the family is leaving and they're going to have a time of their lives and I'm sitting at home, This just gonna make stuff worse, and I don't feel like he's even thinking about that. So, but that's all. That's all I have for real
Yeah,
talk.
I see this
So,
next one's going to piss me off.
yeah. Do you want to lead Living While Black?
Because we've been black most of our lives. Um, no, because this is pissing me off.
Okay.
Was
Yeah,
this
it
my
kind of
cue?
ticked me off too.
No, was this my cue to be like, yeah?
All right. So, um, here we go. So there was a case in, where was this? In Missouri. And basically, it was a black teenager who was found dead in an attic at the house of someone who was a known, basically, white supremacist. The
Mm-mm.
coroner originally ruled that this was a suicide by gunshot.
At a racist
So
house.
giving so giving y'all some context, let's say so on April 23rd, Durante Martin attended a party with friends at a rural home in Fredericktown, Missouri. Durante is 6'3". He's a former football player. He was attending an 18th birthday party for the daughter of a guy named James Wade, who had like multiple Confederate flags. He was known for making posts that were racially charged. He even one an example of one was it was a picture of a black man in chains, and he captioned it with "My great 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 grandfather's tractor."
Mm-mm-mm.
Mind you, after all, he did another one that said, "I had a black dog once. I called him food stamps." But and with even with these things and his desire to honor this Confederate flag, he says that he is not racist. He says that the memes are already on Facebook. He just shared them. It's not like he made them up or put them there. He's not racist. So fast forward, going back to this
Mm.
night. I'm sorry. Oh, y'all.
Oh,
Apple
no,
Watch is
Siri
talking
saying
to
he's
me.
sorry.
Siri understands too. Like, I'm sorry for these people. But so the man, James Wade, said that he could not explain how Durante Martin ended up in his home in the middle of the night with a bullet in his head. In the 911 call from 3:01 a.m., Wade had claimed that he had heard a gunshot during the party and then found Martin dead after he got back from fishing.
Mm.
Mind, yeah, this is on the night of his daughter's birthday. In my mind, I'm reading this like, oh, my daughter invited this dude. I don't really like black people. This black man is in my house, kind of thing. But that's just me.
I wonder why he even went to some shit like that.
I don't know.
Because
I
I'm
don't
reading this
know.
and then people talking about he was paranoid all night. Why did leave? I wish he could have
Yeah.
left.
Yeah. So basically, like after the pathologist performed an autopsy, he determined that Martin committed suicide, even though Martin's body did not have soot, an imprint of the gun's muzzle, or deposits of gunpowder typical of self-inflicted gunshot wounds. But he claimed the missing signs of suicide were caused by the coroner cleaning the teen's body
No.
after the autopsy. Didn't make any sense. Of course, it doesn't make sense to us as we're reading, so you know it didn't make sense to Durante's mother. So
Right.
she started. She had her own autopsy done, where it was determined that um, he did not cause his own death. She said that he had methamphetamine in his body when they found him, and apparently he was shot from a distance, not if I'm putting the gun to my head, that kind of close kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up overturning everything, but I just thought this doesn't even make sense from the jump.
Nope.
Nothing about it made sense from the jump, but somehow, if this mother had not taken the necessary steps to have someone else examine her son, then this would have just been ruled as a suicide, and then he would have just been out here free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy that it even got this far, that it got like this. And I've been trying. We generally try to end the show with something positive, so we'll definitely have something more positive after this. But I saw this and I'm like, there's no way that
Right.
someone can really sit down and say that this made sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's that on that. Did you want to speak on Simone Biles at all? Because I have she holds a special place in my heart. But
All I seen was that my good sister's hitting back into this ring on Wednesday. That's all I saw, and I'm excited about it.
so, for those of you who don't know, well, first, if you've been listening to any of our podcasts, you know I am a Simone Biles stan. I have been standing Simone Biles since she won her first all around title, and I have been beside her ever since. But if you have been on the rock, then I will give you a quick synopsis of what has actually been going on with her. Simone Biles made the Olympic team, as we all expected her to. She also made the individual finals for all of the apparatus. For those who don't know, that includes vault, uneven bars, floor, and
Mm.
beam. She also made the all around final as an individual. Well, anyone who was paying attention to the team competition, the qualifying, you could tell that something was a little bit off for her. Like all of her rotations seemed to be over rotated. She was flying out of bounds, but it didn't matter because she still scored the highest of all the people who were there. Well, when the all around competition came, she did one vault. No, the team final came. She did one vault and completely, like, it was just out of character for her how she landed it. And she said, you know what, I'm withdrawing. She withdrew from the team competition.
As
People
she
were
should
like, oh.
have.
So, and white people mad. Oh my God, someone who could have been, who really wanted to be there, could have been there. Blah 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 blah.
But that,
If they could have been there, they would have performed better. Step your pussy up and then say
right.
something. But we're not going to
So
go there. We're going to move right on past it. So, but after she withdrew, it was still in the air whether or not she was going to do the all around individual competition. She still had the apparatus that she could be competing on, all that kind of stuff. But
mm-hmm.
she ended up withdrawing from the individual final. Suni Lee ended up winning. Shout out to Suni Lee. She was actually the first Asian American to ever win the all around gold. She's extremely
Okay.
talented. Even in rankings, when they did their stuff, it was Simone Biles and then Suni Lee. So she did well, and I commend her for that.
Okay.
When so people she was trying to Simone Biles was trying to explain what was going on. Ultimately, she started saying that what she was experiencing was a thing that gymnasts experience called twisties. So I had to look it up to figure out what twisties is. Twisties basically means like they're going up and they're flipping, but they can't sense how many times they've rotated. Like they've imagine, it's, to me in my mind, it's like her doing gymnastics in the dark,
Mm-hmm.
where she can't fully understand or determine how much she's been spending. Which for her, she said once she realized that's what was going on, that's why she withdrew, because she felt like she would be a detriment to the team rather than being an asset, because she would be out there winging it the whole time, not knowing if she's doing what she's supposed to do. And also risking some, like, her health, because she could have easily injured herself. So she withdrew from the floor, which in my mind, it made sense to me. Floor, she's doing all these twists and stuff. If she can't figure out what she's doing, where she is in the air, could be awful. So she withdrew
Right.
from the floor. She withdrew from the vault. She also withdrew from the uneven bars. But uneven bars is her, yeah, her weakest event, if we're going to call it weak. She will, however, like you saw today, will be competing in the beam final.
Okay.
So I'm happy for that. But
I'm glad she needed
I
a second
want
to just get
people to
herself together.
Yeah, I want people to also understand that Simone Biles could have easily just went home, but she didn't go home. She stayed there when the team final was going on. She stayed out there and cheered for her team the whole time. When Suni Lee was out there competing, she stayed out there and cheered for her team the whole time. They have a girl on who she qualified for as a basically an individual contributor named Michaela Skinner. Michaela Skinner was strong in vault and floor, but she didn't make the finals. Simone was the one who convinced her not to go home. She was going to go home. She convinced her not to go home. Because she convinced her not to go home, Michaela actually got the silver on the vault. She might not have been able to contribute to actual performance, but sis was out there encouraging these girls day in and day out, despite all of the negativity that all of the media and all these raggedy white people had to say about her.
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately that's how it is. I've seen so many of them talking about she's a quitter.
Quitter.
This isn't
Yep. Yep.
patriotic. This is like
Oh,
she should have
Patriot.
she should have figured this out before she went there. Like they fully understand how it means what it means to be out there flipping, doing all these turns and stuff.
Can't
When
even do a cartwheel.
half of them barely can reach down and grab their shoelaces, and they got so much to say about somebody who is jumping in the air doing two twists and two backflips at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. So I'm like, y'all the last people that need to be saying something. To me, I saw this as someone who, one, recognized that something wasn't right and decided she was going to do something about it, which is something that people don't do. Let's go back in time, 1996. 1996, everybody remembers when Carrie Strug did her vault, hurt herself, then went back and did the next vault, landed and completely destroyed her foot.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a podcast group, the one that I'm always telling you about, and
Mm-hmm.
there was someone in there who actually had a conversation with Carrie Strug's husband. Carrie Strug has not been the same since. Her foot was so messed up from that she literally had to give up her whole career as a gymnast, and she's still been dealing with issues from that. Michaela Maroney, a lot of people know her from 2016, 2016, 2016 Olympics. She was known for her vault. Amazing vaulter. No, it was 2012. Amazing vaulter. She did a vault, and when she landed, like it wasn't perfect, but she did amazing. She
Right.
knew that she could have done better. She got a silver medal. What people did not know about her was that she broke her foot doing a beam routine that she didn't even need to do because her coach was telling her to do it. She was not even going to the Olympics to do the beam, but she broke her foot and literally still had to go out there and perform within the vault. Like these girls have been told basically that you do what we want you to do. These are the
Right.
same girls that
You
have
don't
had to deal
prioritize
with,
you.
yes, these are the same girls that had to deal with being sexually assaulted by a doctor that was supposed to be taking care of them. Simone Biles being one of those girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, these girls are going through so much, and you really had the whole audacity and nerve to sit behind the computer with your fat fingers and have all these negative things to say about someone who's doing things that you never would be able to do. And then they were like, well, she should have still went out there. Well, let's take you to a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was a soccer team from England.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer team from England. They had to do like a kickoff or a shootout or something at the end of the thing, and the black people on the team missed their shots. And because they missed their shots, they lost the game. The white people in the stands were screaming out all kinds of racist things to them. So what I'm hearing from this is that whether if she would have quit, with her quitting, y'all had everything to say. If she would have went out there and sucked, y'all would have had even worse
More
things
to
to say
say.
because
Mm-hmm.
she did not represent your country the way you wanted her to. This was a
Mm-hmm.
lose lose for her, but I'm
Yep.
glad she chose herself
Me too.
before she chose them because she's
Mm-hmm.
been choosing them almost her entire career. She deserved to choose herself. And that's all. That's all I gotta say. Clearly,
Nope,
I
because I
understand.
agree.
I might be biased, but I know I'm right. I know
I
I'm right
might
in
be
this.
biased, but I know I'm man, shut up.
No one anywhere can tell me that I am wrong for believing that this girl did the right thing for herself. These hoes, they tried it. So Simone, love her. Her boyfriend is fine, by the way, but I love her. Check them out. You'll see what I'm talking about. Sis got some great taste. All of her men, A1. But yeah, shout out to her. I She has nothing to prove to anybody. Sis is the most decorated gymnast out there. She has 5 skills named after her, and 2 or 3 of them we won't ever see another girl try to do because they can't. She ain't got nothing to prove to these hoes.
Nothing.
Nothing. So that's all I got. That's all I got. Oh God, it's not more. There's still more. Ugh. I just remember I committed to story time. I'm not doing story time this week.
But
I'm
do to
just doing
me.
story time last week. I feel like
All
I
right.
did a lot of talking. But
I'm
before
glad
I
you
go
did though,
there, do
because
you have anything
somebody
that you
needed to
want to
carry us
leave?
today.
Do,
Some time in. No, I'm not even gonna do it today.
do
That's
you
it.
have anything you want to leave our
No, I
listeners
was
with?
gonna
We got.
sing "Lean on Me" like usual.
Yeah, I'm glad that I cut that off. So
Wow.
this is my meme that I'm going to leave you with, and it is probably one of the truest statements I've ever heard. And honestly, I've done this.
Uh oh.
Okay. Black people never want to teach you how to play spades. They just say, "You don't know how to play spades?" Really loud after you've already said you don't know how to play spades, and then start telling people you don't know how to play
Yep.
spades. It's how it is. That's what we do.
It
Because at this
is. My
point in
mom
your
taught
life,
us in
you
private.
should not be over 20. Because if you didn't know before you got to college, if you went to college, you should have learned in college
Especially
because
if you're
there's a
at
lot of people
HBCU.
who spend a lot of time. I went to a PWI and we spent so many nights being up until like 3, 4 in the morning just sitting there playing spades. If you did not know and you had no one in your circle to teach you, you need new friends because everybody ain't gonna want to play Uno all the time.
Say
Like
that.
there's you can throw out a draw four or draw two in Uno, but there's something real special about cutting somebody's book with a three of spades after they threw out a because
No, because
they
y'all
threw
are
out an
playing
ace, but you got a
horribly if that's
three
go right. That's horrible.
because it's like you took out the lowest spade you could to
To
cut
just
somebody's book. Like
gave
you
you
gotta throw
power.
it and you gotta hit it so hard on the table that it hits the table, but then it slides just a little bit. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a little bit, unless you got one of them old cards that been bent up and got all
Mass
creases
be
and
old
kind of
and
stuff.
bent up.
And you gotta be careful with
They
those
got
because
chicken grease on them.
people be intentionally bending jokers so you know where the joker is in the deck. I've been knowing what people be doing.
You
I
hear
know
me? I
what's
like
going
because man's got grease on them from people eating chicken and playing spades.
on.
And I don't even like
I,
cards all like that, but it definitely got grease on them.
mm, 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 mm. Well, ball heads, I think this means we are at the end of the episode. If you have not subscribed, go down there and subscribe. But I think that's all that I got. And if that is it, ball heads, we will talk to you next week.
Next week, because I'm going to bed. I'm
So you